All right.
Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, Niger, that to the Israeli border. Erdogan, the president of Turkey, is not very impressed with the prime minister of Israel. Turkey on Wednesday sent warships to Lebanon to evacuate 2,000 of its citizens from Lebanon, okay, from Beirut. And Turkey, which is estimated to have about 14,000 citizens because of the deteriorating security situation on the ground in Lebanon.
Yep.
So President Erdogan has never been a big fan of the Prime Minister of Israel. He believes he's very conceited. He thinks too highly about himself. He thinks he's the center of the world. And he voices himself. Erdogan is probably one of the only presidents that voices himself against Israel like that. They have sent 2 ships, and also the 2 ships are bringing approximately 300 tons of humanitarian aid to show Turkey's support to the Lebanese people, including tents, bedding, hygiene kits, and kitchenware. Okay, so Turkey doesn't want Lebanon to become what Gaza has become today. This is Gaza before. This is Gaza after. Again, this is Gaza before.
Wow, look
This
at
is
it.
Gaza after. Well, Gaza before was okay. Gaza right now, it's mayhem. Why?
Flattened.
Because
Look at it.
apparently some people crossed into Israel and they did some really bad things and they came back to Gaza. And they had to pay for that. Yes, they paid for it, but unfortunately, it seems like even the people that did not participate in those negative and bad things that happened earlier also are living the consequences of the punishment. So
Yeah.
the president of Turkey claimed that Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu government harbors ambitions that include the capture of Anatolia as part of the Greater Israel. So
See?
he's accusing Israel of having a goal to capture a bigger part of the land, Greater Israel.
There you go.
This is Israel as it is now. Now, this is Israel as he thinks Israel want to make it. You see the difference? This is Israel as it is right now.
Yep.
This is Greater Israel. So some people always nurture the idea that Israel has always wanted to create a Greater Israel, like to conquer more land
Yeah.
so they can have more space. Well, you're not going to conquer more land by
Of
going
course.
into Turkey and
Right, I mean,
a part
for-
of Saudi Arabia and a part of Lebanon. They want to take over all that place. That's the idea that's been nurtured.
Yep.
Eventually, our borders will extend from Lebanon, the Great Desert, which is Saudi Arabia, and then from the Mediterranean to the Euphrates. And who's on the other side of the Euphrates? The Kurds. And the Kurds are our friends. So we have the Mediterranean behind us, the Kurds in front of us, Lebanon.
See, look, Kurds. Now, oh, this is so wicked. Now, the Kurds, right? The Kurds and the Turks don't get on. All right. If you say to Pete, listen, there's a kebab place down the road, nice place. It's a family business, and the guy there actually knows the history because Turkey used to be called Constantinople. All right. Know your history. A part of this ministry is to know your history. There you go. Constantinople. All right. Constantinople. See, look, for history and for of the Byzantine Empire, and that was our empire, and it was a Christian society, and the Ottoman Turks took us down. You know. So that's why the Turkey, Erdogan's people are there today. And when I went to this place a few years ago, I mentioned about this Kurdish issue, and the guy me and him get along. He knows about the history. He said he called me a Moor, and he said, yeah, it was the 10th or the 11th battle of Constantinople, and that's when we got you guys out of there. And he said Turkish people are not racist. They're not racist. Well, they're Edomites, so they are racist. But in Turkey and in the neighboring countries like Iraq and so forth, there are Kurdish people, and Kurds and Turks do not get on. Kurdish people are stateless. They've got a place called Kurdistan, because the barber that I go to, they're Kurdish around here. And by the way, they can cut black hair good, man. And they're really cool people, man. Really cool people, man. There's even a restaurant here that does Kurdish food. I went there once. It's quite nice. Everything is halal. No pork or anything like that. Alright? The Kurds don't get on with the Turks. And there's Kurdish people in Turkey. They have a group called YPG. And the Turks and Erdogan regard them as terrorists. So I wonder who's supplying them weapons. I guarantee you it's Israel. So Erdogan knows this stuff. All right, he knows this stuff. Now the Bible knows this devil because this man is a fucking look, you niggas that actually love this man. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna die very soon, man. This guy, he cannot, he doesn't, he doesn't know when to stop. It's just like America, man. They took the land, but they did not have to try to exterminate the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad. All right, this is Habakkuk 2. All right, let me start at 4. Habakkuk 2 and 4. All right, this is in the Old Testament. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. And who's that talking about? So-called white man. All right, and remember, those Amalekites in our homeland, those Jewish people, they're Edomites, man. So his soul is not, and they're the head tribe of their nation, so they're the worst. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. But the just shall live by his faith. And that's us, just the elect. The way we're gonna be saved through all these calamities is that we're gonna know that the Lord is with us because we're doing his work and we're trying to live according to his law, statute, commandments. If you do that to the best of your ability, you'll be good, man. All right, even if you die, once you die, your spirit goes back to God anyway. You know, you go to the mercy seat, man. You know, when you die, when all the prophets in the Bible die, I guarantee you, when their spirits go back to God, he's pleased. You know why? They're not suffering no more. All right, and they fulfilled his mission. So that's what we have to do. There's no point starting and not completing the mission. Okay. All right. So the just shall live by faith. Verse 5. Here's the point. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, oh gosh, because he transgresseth by wine. And when it means wine, his philosophies, his doctrines, like all his garbage, Geneva Convention, he's not living up to that. He set that up. The League of Nations after World War One was to stop another World War happening, and then World War Two happened. Then the UN was set up after World War Two to stop another World War happening, and we're going to have a third World War. So he's a bullshitter, man. So he transgresseth, all right? He transgresses. He basically breaks agreements. That's what transgressing is. Like, we transgress the laws of God, meaning we broke them. So he transgresses by his doctrines. He breaks his own doctrines. He a hypocrite! And the biggest one. The reason why he's the biggest one is because God, the Yahweh the Most High, has put this devil in the power seat. So we can learn what wickedness is, man, and to run the other way. Don't run to wickedness. Run the other way, man. All right. So also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Oh, and this man is proud. But here's the point: neither keepeth at home. Israel is in Lebanon right now. Israel is in the Gaza Strip right now. Oh, they're bombing Syria right now. Oh, they're assassinating people in Iran. In Iran, what intelligence must they have? And there's and I'll show you in the clip that one of the head of the Iranian army. There's rumors that it's just a rumor. We can't say anything, and I don't want to spread anything without knowing. But there's a rumor that's on a news report that they've put him on some kind of house arrest, something like that, because they're thinking, hang on, Ismail Haniyeh, who's the head guy of Hamas, who helped promote Hamas from Qatar, he went to Iran to see the new president. Remember, the president of Iran, the last one, he was killed in a helicopter crash. You know, now Iran will say, well, you know what, there was bad weather, and there was bad weather on that day, this, that, and the other. But who knows if Israel and America didn't do that? Because they could have, because they did. He died, and then Ismail Haniyeh comes you know, from Qatar, whatever. He's been to Palestine. He grew up in Palestine, or whatever. You know, he's done well. He's got businesses, and many of his family members were killed in the Gaza Strip as well. All right, sons and things like that. He went to Iran and they executed him with a bomb. He was staying in the guest house and they lit it up with explosives. All right. Now they're in Lebanon, and what's his name? Hassan Nasrallah, who was the one of the head guys in Lebanon, who did all the talking. So for the general secretary, I think he was. You know, they found where he was and did a bunker buster bomb. You know, like you have bunkers down below. They've got bombs that are so powerful. It doesn't matter how deep your bunker is. All right, they can blow it up. But how did they find him? So what they think, it's a rumor, and I'll show it to you, is that there must be a snitch in there. There must be a spy, and it could be plausible. Whether it's him or not, I don't know. All right, so that's the rumor. So he's going to other countries, and he's bombing people in other countries. That shows you he's a proud man, and he never keeps at home. Who enlarges his desire as hell. All right, enlarges his desire as hell. What does that remind you of? What does that remind you of? This Great Israel Project. There you go. That's what he wants. That's what they're trying to do. And guess what? Who's giving them those orders? Satan. But I guarantee you, who gave those orders to Satan? The Lord, man. All right? Because Satan it just does what God wants him to do. All right? And I'll prove that. Okay? He enlarges his desire as hell. All right? And is as death. And is there not death reigning in Lebanon right now? Is there not death in the Gaza Strip right now? Is there not death in Syria? Yes, there is. And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, that means all different kinds of races of people, and heapeth unto him all people. See? So he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Okay? And that's why Erdogan is saying we need what? An Islamic alliance, man. We need an alliance that is... And he said in a speech recently that Hamas is fighting for all Muslims. All right, let's continue.
Which really needs the umbrella of protection of Israel. And then we're going to take, I believe we're going to take Mecca, Medina, and Mount Sinai and purify those places.
The Turkish president...
You hear what he said? Purify those places. See? So they're... Oh, my goodness me.
The president is warning of a war between the two states, while prediction of Israeli aggression toward Turkey are not rooted in reality. He says they could indicate Ankara's willingness to escalate its involvement in the regional violence against Israel. So is Israel gathering more enemies? That's a big question mark. Are they getting more enemies?
Yes.
So the Turkish president says, while he was addressing the opening ceremonies of Turkey News parliamentary session, he said the Israel leadership acting with the delirium of the promised land with a purely religious fanaticism will set its sights on a homeland after Palestine and Lebanon.
Vaat edilmiş topraklar hezeyanıyla hareket eden İsrail yönetiminin tamamen dini bir fanatizm ile Filistin ve Lübnan'dan sonra gözünü dikeceği yer açık söylüyorum.
See, he knows the plan. See, he knows the plan.
Bizim vatan
He's right. He's right. He's
So
right.
he's saying Israel is acting with fanatism. You know, when you believe that this is our promised land, God promised us this land 3,000 years ago. So this land belonged to us.
Yeah, and
Doesn't matter who's living in it today.
And by the way, that land belongs to us. All right. All right. It belongs to us. It belongs to us. It's our homeland, but we got kicked out of it, and rightfully so, man. All right. Rightfully so. So imagine me going to Israel, going on a flight, and saying and proving to them that hey, look, you know what, my ancestors, this is our homeland, and I can prove it all day, and it'll be easy to do that. And then I go over there and I knock on a door of a house, a big palatial house, and I say, listen, get out of this house. This is my ancestral homeland. My ancestors were kicked out by the Romans in 70 AD. what would happen? Would are they going to say no? Oh yeah, we'll just get up and leave. They're going to think, what is this? You know, they're going to think, is this nigger out of his mind? And believe me, they use that word nigger over there, man. All right, one of the words that they use for because there's a lot of Ethiopians, and you know Ethiopians are Hamites, and they are Cushites in the Bible. All right, Ham had what, 4 sons, man. All right, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Everyone on the planet Earth is from one of those 3 sons: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Cushites, Ethiopians, are Hamites, but they're specifically Cushites. And you know what them Israelis call them? They call them Cushi. And you ask them, what does Cushi mean? Nigger. It means nigger. Yeah, they beat them up. When they're in the army, they beat them up. They treat them badly, man. Zechariah 9:6, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I'll cut off the pride of the Philistines. And where is Ashdod today? Where's Ashdod? It's in Israel, man. All right. It's near the Mediterranean Sea. It's a seaport. See? There you go. It's in Israel, man. See? See, look. Ashdod Travel Center. You know? Go on Wikipedia. So, see, look. Ashdod. I mean, and listen, man. They got luxury cruises. Can you imagine? They're living like this. In nice places like this, that. I'm not saying all of these Jewish people are living like that. You know? Because they're not. There are Jewish people that are in poverty and the economy is tanking because of the war. But on the other side, them Palestinians are just in destitute, man. Okay? They're destitute. Alright? Alright, let's finish this.
3,000 years ago, God chose us. We the favorite people of God.
Yeah, no, and they're not
we the favorite people of God.
Yeah, and they're not the same as people of God.
Palestine is part of our land. Jerusalem part of our land. Until a big chunk of Turkey and Saudi Arabia is all part of Israel's land, and some part of Lebanon. And do people really believe that? That's a good question. Now, the Turkish president believes that the Israeli prime minister firmly believes that. He believes these fanaticism based on religion and beliefs that that big chunk of land belongs to them.
Yeah.
Look, the question is very simple, I think. Most people don't live in lands that used to belong to them. I'm just being honest with you. If everybody has to really claim the land that supposedly belongs to them, there's going to be another world war.
Yeah,
Uganda doesn't believe Uganda is what Uganda is today. They feel like there was a chunk of Uganda that was taken away, given to another country. You know what I'm saying? Rwanda doesn't believe that Rwanda is what it is today. They believe there's a chunk of their country that was taken away. Some other country, I mean, that's the reason why you see people speaking the same language in one country and the same language in another country.
Colonialism. Because of colonialism.
Botswana and South Africa. In Botswana, people speak Tswana. Or in South Africa.
And let me say this. I'm sorry to interrupt. These borders in Africa are all colonial borders. The white man made all of these borders. All of them.
People also, a group of people speak Tswana. Say Tswana. Now the question is this one. Who are Botswana people? Are they South Africans or Botswanas? That's a good question. You don't know because the countries and the way people live today are set up to change throughout the years. It's a very interesting one. President Erdogan does not believe that Prime Minister is willing to stop. Therefore, he needs to find a way to make them stop. Now, to the south, the Houthis. This is Yemen. This is where some people call the Houthis. These people don't like Israel either. They are good friends with people from Gaza, a good friend with Hezbollah. They've been bombing Israel for as much as they could. The last time they shot a missile that went through the Iron Dome of Israel, which is a very respected defense system. Now, lately, the Houthis drone slammed into a ship. The Yemen Houthis rebels launched an explosive-loaded drone that crashed into a ship on Tuesday in the Red Sea. So they've been targeting Israel's ship, okay, since the longest time, because their goal is Israel must stop what it's doing in Gaza and now in Lebanon. So drone boats have been increasingly used by the Houthis. These are boats that are unmanned. It's called a drone boat. It's a boat, but it's unmanned. So the rebels maintain that the target ships are linked to Israel. They're targeting USA ships, United Kingdom ships, and whoever supporting Israel. Their goal is to force an end to Israel's campaign against Hamas group in Gaza. However, many people believe that some of the ships they've attacked have nothing to do with Israel. Now, let me know how you feel about this. Do you think Israel is within its right? Because they belong, to claim the land that was promised to them. Do you think the Turkish president is right to be unhappy? You know, because a while back he said Prime Minister of Israel is actually the same as that guy from Germany. You remember the guy from Germany that are not that many people? Yeah, he's saying that. He said you're very similar.
How are you different than Hitler?
Do you think he's right? Who do you think is right? Do you think Israel is right? Do you think Turkey is right? Do you think the Houthis are just rebels, or they're actually fighting for a cause that makes sense?
No, they're fighting for a cause, man. So it's gonna get really deep. It's getting hot. It will simmer down because remember, and we went through this. The MOTB and Jacob's Trouble comes before World War III. All right. So if you go to Ezekiel 38, you know, it tells you, all right. We'll start from verse 1 and then I'll just get a few scriptures and I'm just going to close it. All right. It goes into the Third World War. All right. So it's not going to happen now, but brace yourselves. And that's the balance, man. I'm thinking about these things really deeply because, and I said that in the sit down that we did. I said, that's the balance. Now I'm in my house. You know, I've got electricity, food. I'm not well, I've got pain and stuff, but I've got food, shelter, warmth, clothing. All right. But when the Third World War happens, or when Jacob's Trouble happens, that's going to be gone. When we're going to be living rough, really bad, man. You know? So prepare your minds for it, man. Prepare your minds for it, you know? All right? And the more you read the Bible and understand it, the more you watch videos like this and you digest it, it will make you come to terms with what's to come. Because it's going to happen, man. You know? It's going to happen. Like when the scandemic happened, I was like thinking that was it. Jacob's Trouble was coming. You know? But it didn't happen. So this will simmer down. Alright? But we're going to Ezekiel 38 a little bit. Verse 1. And the word of... This is Ezekiel 38 verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me saying... And the Lord is Yahweh. That's the Lord's name. Every time you see it in caps... Alright? It's Yahweh. That's his name. Alright? Son of man, set thy face against Gog, which I told you on the map is this area here, which is below Russia, the southern part of Russia, which is the Caucasus Mountains, all right, where you crackers were hemmed in the Middle Ages when our people took over Europe. You had a huge, big part of the crackers in Europe were pushed there into this area. That's why they're called Caucasians, man. All right, they know their history, but they've hid it. All right. So Gog is here. All right, Georgia, and that's why Georgia, the people of Georgia, want to be in the EU, and they don't want the government to be close to Russia, but the government is making steps to get closer to Russia. But that's prophecy. All right, Armenia, Azerbaijan, that's all Gog. All right, Magog is mainly Russia. All right. So let's go back. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. So the Lord is against them, all right, but he's going to use them for his purpose, which is judgment for Third World War. Because 3 world wars is to judge all the races that fought against us, you know, and that's a privilege, man. All right, because behind closed doors, even Erdogan, he knows that we're the real Jews. He's not saying it. If I met him and said, listen, I'm an Israelite, I'm a real Jew, he'll probably shake my hand and pat me on the head, and then he'll probably tell his security team, arrest that nigger and put him in prison. He's dangerous. You know, he's telling them, because they're all behind closed doors, they're all Masons, man. They're all worshipping Satan in one form or another. These countries with presidents and so forth, a lot of them are. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, all right, chief prince. So Magog is the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And Meshach and Tubal is areas that were in where? Turkey. All right, so they're going to be allied and prophesy against him. All right, and verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord, I am against thee, O Gog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So the Lord is not with you Armenians, all right, you Azerbaijanians, you Georgians, you Russians, you Turks, all right? He's not with you, man, all right? But he's going to use you for his purpose, all right? Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, all right? And that's talking about Russia. He's going to turn them back into the military might of the Soviet Union, which is happening because they've got a war in Ukraine. It's a war economy in Russia. All the sanctions that the UN has put on them, well, you know what they've done? They've just gone around them by, remember, Russia's huge landmass, all right? A huge, massive landmass. I mean, that's a southern tip of Russia, but it's a huge landmass and it's got huge resources, man, all right? And it's close. You can get to, what's it called? Places like Greenland and all these Arctic places. And they've got resources there, man. Okay? Alright? So I'll turn you back, put hooks in their jaws. And when you put hooks in jaws, alright, what does it show? Your teeth. So Russia's military might is going to come in. It's back already. And bring thee forth, and thine army, horses and horsemen. See, so the horsemen today is what? Your tanks, your military, planes, you know, etc. All of them clothed in all sorts of armor, even a great company with shields and bucklers as weapons, swords, militaries, missiles and bullets, drones, all handling swords. All right, verse 5. Persia, who's Persia? Iran. Ethiopia, who's Ethiopia? We know who Ethiopia is. Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And Turkey has a military deal and good relations with Ethiopia. All right.